factor something properly. And I was walking around, I see a lot of people didn't know how to do the first question. So let's start with first question. Um, so if I'm gonna go through it, you better pay attention and you better write things down. Um, if you don't know how to factor by now, then that's a problem. Now, I'm trying to. Oh, on the thing. Sorry. Quick time. Yeah, come back after school if you need like specific help. Ask those people like who are good, coming back to help you. Now they also get better while they're helping you, so it's not like there's no benefit. Now, like I said before, I have a lot of people outside of school that need to help. Um, if you're doing good in this class, I can almost can make sure you get paid for it. Like I know Safa has helped me tutor other kids, and she's making people is paying her for doing that. But the problem is, you're not good, and I cannot actually use you. I cannot say somebody asked me says I just walked by the lunch yesterday. There are two people stop me says, "Can you help me with math?" I cannot, but my student can. So those of you guys are doing well, I refer you. I know Safa is one of the person I refer to. Because I trust her, I trust her brother, and I can go with that, right? So if somebody need help, go for them. Because I charge a very expensive, I told them. So you guys can actually learn the knowledge, actually do better on SAT, and in the future might be somebody willing to pay for your help. So I don't know who, but somebody might. So that's the first question. I'm not gonna do a first question because I should do a first question. So I'm not gonna do a third question. So 18x squared minus 9x less than 2. Now I know this is a quadratic inequality. Any quadratic inequality, you cannot just pick the interval you want to pick. I think some of you guys just pick random things. No, you're not picking random thing. They are picking for a reason. So I hear this is greater than 0. If something greater than 0, that means you have to minus 2 less than 0. You have to factor this. Most of you guys still don't know how to factor. This is the way I factor. Whatever you learn how to factor, if you can factor this question on your way, I'll do it your way. If you cannot do it my way, make sure two things times each other equal to 18x squared. So which two things times each other? 6 and 3x. That's the best choice. It doesn't mean that's the only choice. You could have 2 and 9. You could have 1 and 18. But it doesn't have to be that way. And this is the work that you need to show. So now I'm going to purposely do it wrong. Let's just do I'm going to pick, I'm going to use this 1 and 2. That's going to be 6x and this is 6x. 6 and x, 6x, this add together will never give you 9x. So that I know I'm doing it wrong. So I'm going to choose 2 and 1. This is 12x and this is 3x because this get this and this and you get this. Now this part is the only part is adding, but you know this multiply is going to give you -2. That means one of them need to be negative. Which one need to be negative? 2. So it'll be 6x plus 1 because you want negative be 12x plus 3x equal to -9x. Then that's going to be 3x minus 2, like this. And once you get to this is called quadratic inequality or compound inequality. Now, if you get to this part, then what are you going to do? You're going to start answering the question. Katie, you want to write this down? Because the way you guys just pick a random interval, nope, that's not the way to do it. Julia, make sure you write it down. Because I look at it, I can see like what you guys doing. You guys didn't do number line tests. You have to. Number line test is the only thing that's matter here. This one, we're looking for region greater than 0, which is positive region. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find endpoint. So x equal to 1 over 6. If I know how to solve that, I'm going to show you how to solve this part. So it'll be 3x minus 2 equal to 0, 3x equal to 2, x equal to 2 over 3. So I will have a negative 1 over 6 and 2 over 3. And I will have a 6x plus 1. I'll have 3x minus 2. Now, in order for me to give you credit, I will assign 3 check mark here. You have to factor it correctly. Did you do a number line test? If you don't do a number line test, I cannot give you credit. So you got to learn how to do a number line test. You got to learn it today. If you don't know how to do it, learn it now. If you know how you do it. So right now, I feel like there's a good 65% actually did it, or 50% actually did it. The other half didn't even do a number line test. Just pick a random region and just do it your own way. No, you cannot do it your own way. This is a compound inequality. I will tell you, half the math teacher in the school will do it wrong. And probably the other half doesn't even know how to do it. Half the Orange County public school teacher will do this question wrong. If you don't teach pre-cal above, they'll do it wrong. All he doesn't even bother to teach it. And there's a reason for that. Because it is difficult. I have seen teacher did it wrong. I have correct many different teachers. And if you cannot do it, then that means that's bad. But I don't want you just be average compared to everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick any number from negative infinity to negative 1 over 6. What's a good number to plug in? Yes, Brandon? Negative 1. So if I plug in negative 1 into the 6, I'm going to get negative 6 plus 1. I don't really care about what a value is. I just care about a sign. So this sign's negative. Negative 1, that's going to give you a negative and positive. Now, people is going to get recognized as, oh, this is always a pattern, and just pick the whatever region they pick. No, because if you don't do this, I will not give you credit, even you pick the right region. Whole chapter of calculus is based on number line tests. It's called finding increasing, decreasing, finally concave up, concave down. I'm preparing you for calculus. If you don't pay attention right now, you're not going to win. Okay, the second region, what's the best number to plug in? Between 0 to 1, negative 1 over 6 and 2 over 3. Nathan, what's good? What's good to plug in between negative 1 over 6 to 2 over 3? Pick a number. It doesn't have a right number here. It has a one or better number, but 0. Good. So if I plug in 0, here, I'm going to get positive. If I plug in 0, it's going to give negative. Now this is a negative. If I plug in 1, that's going to be positive, positive, positive. But that's not an answer. If you get to this part, you get a second check mark. And sometimes you still lose the last check mark because you cannot give me the answer. The answer is positive region. So it's going to be negative infinity to negative 1 over 6 union from 2 over 3 to infinity. And that's in order to give you 3 check mark here. And that's probably 7 points to 7.5 points. That's your A or that's your B right there. Yes. Why is a parentheses not bracket? Because this is a greater than. If it's a greater than, means not including. Imagine if I will plug in negative 1 over 6 into here, right? That is going to give me 0. But 0 times, if 0 is this part right here, times anything, it should be 0. But 0 is not greater than 0. So that is not a solution. Yes. Julia, can you answer that phone? Just pick up twice. Sometimes they hang up but get stuck.
Yeah. Anthony Andrews.
That's me.
You go home?
Not the other one.
Oh, okay.
What room? 402.
402?
Okay, so thank you, Julia. Okay, so this is how you do things properly. And if you don't do a thing this way, I cannot give you credit. Yes.
Could you explain again how you choose the numbers to plug in for me?
Good. So I pick from negative infinity to negative 1 over 6. So negative infinity to negative 1 is like, I don't know, somebody told me negative 1. Brendan says negative 1. Because negative 1 is between negative infinity and negative 106. I plug in into the 6x plus 1 here. And I say it's negative 5. But I don't really care about negative 5 or negative 4. I just know it need to be negative. So it's not like a lot of calculation. Imagine that you want to plug in different number. It's going to be a different calculation. Pick a number that's going to help you to figure out situations. I will plug in negative 1 into here. So negative 1 times 3, which is negative 3 minus 2 is still negative. So this 2 is negative. You have to merge those two negative becomes positive. It's okay. Yes.
So if the sign was less than 0, you would just put the negative, and that would be like the
Negative 1 6 to 2/3.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's, yeah, so then you can figure out a region. Now, why is that important? Because you go to the next question, right? Is that always positive, negative, positive? Not necessary. You have to figure out. Next question is what? What is the next question? X to the what?
2x cubed
Uh-huh.
is less than or equal to 2x.
So you realize this change is less than equal to, right? And you also see that's third degree. So it's called compound inequality. So compound inequality, I promise you, like, I teach probably 6 different teachers how to do this. So that means, and I can guarantee you, your algebra 2 teacher didn't know how to do it. Like, almost guarantee. And the reason is because they don't need to use it. So only an upper tier teacher, like the only teacher that's able to teach this, like properly, like knowing how to teach, or anything that above teaching pre-calc. So you have to understand this. So factor out 2x, and that's going to be x squared minus 9. Of course, you always look for GCF, but a lot of time you guys don't look for GCF. And that's the 4 term. 4 term, you're going to group first 2 term, group the last 2 term. And then you can factor more, x plus 3 and x minus 3. And that's less than 0. So then I will write down all the factor here. X plus 3 and x minus 3. Is that okay? Now, I'm going to ask random people to help me test. So that's going to be negative 3, 0, and 3. Emily, what should I test the first region?
For like the negative infinity to negative 3.
Mm-hmm.
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Okay. So Sarah Kansas, yeah, can you tell me what happened to the sign here? Uh-huh. Next one. Why? Which number you plug in?
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at mine. I have a different order. Positive?
No. See, that's the thing. Which number you plug in?
Oh, negative 4.
Okay, negative 4 plug in x plus 3. What sign am I going to get? Good. What negative 4 minus 3? What am I going to get? Good. So negative times negative is what? Are you sure? Are you sure?
So the 3 negative.
So 3 negative is equal to negative. Good. So you circle this. This is what we're going to do. So 4 negative is going to be positive. Yes. Doing okay? Andrew, what kind of number I'm going to test? Negative 3 to 0. Pick a number. There's no wrong answer. Huh? Negative 1. If I plug in negative 1 into 2x, what am I going to get?
Negative 2x.
No.
Oh.
Negative or positive. There's only 2 choices. Negative. Good. What will happen if you plug in the x plus 3? Positive. Good. If you plug in x minus 3? Positive. Is that right? No. Which one's wrong? The last one's wrong. See, you guys are not paying attention. A lot of you guys are just go with the flow. And I know 30% of you guys are going to fail tomorrow's test because those are people who go for There are people who question, like Charlotte. She's questioning. She's questioning, is her concept right or is her concept wrong? If you don't do that, you are gonna fail. And I don't want you to fail. I want you to question me. Mr. Ye, I don't understand. That's okay. Nobody gonna make fun of you. I won't. And nobody dare to do that. Yes.
Oh, so for the test, should we be showing our work just like where it says plugging in the negative for x, just so you can see what's going on?
No, if you long as you have right sign, I know you plug in the right things. So here I'm gonna plug in -1. So -1 plug in x minus 3. What sign am I gonna get? Negative. So 2 negative is positive. This is positive. And this is how you're gonna progress each time. I know it's tedious, but as soon as your brain start wiring, this number line test is gonna be like this. I'm gonna plug in. What's the next number I'll plug in, Bennett? 1. So what am I gonna get on first sign? Second sign.
Negative.
Are you sure? It's x plus 3. Positive. And then what's the last one? What's the total sign of this? Negative. Okay, I'm gonna plug in 4. That's gonna be positive, 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 positive. So where's the answer, Leah? Where's the answer here?
Wait, I have a question. I was looking at the second one. Shouldn't it be negative the 3 to the 0?
3 to the 0. Second one, I plug in 1. 1 plus 3 is positive. I plug in second one here. 1 plus 3 is positive. And your order might be different than mine. So it depends on where your factoring order is.
Okay.
So yes, every question is relevant, right? Yes, Ian?
I forgot what it's gonna say.
Okay. Okay, so now where's the answer? Negative region. Okay, so can you give me the proper answer, Austin? Parentheses, what?
Parentheses negative infinity to -3. Union.
No, what is this one? What is this one here? There was a closed. Shh. Austin?
Closed like a bracket.
It has to be a bracket. It's not a parenthesis because it's less equal to. So you have to including the answer. Union. What else?
Would it be 3 to bracket negative or to
Bracket what?
-3?
You got is looking for less than 0. You're looking for negative region. This is another region. So which was what? Nope. You're going from left to right. Annika?
Bracket 0 and then 3.
Parenthesis or bracket?
Oh, sorry.
Bracket. Why is a bracket again? You can including. It's inclusive. So even small detail like that, if you don't understand, that's gonna point off. Yes.
Close the -3 with the bracket instead of parentheses.
Because you can equal to this value. You can equal to it. Because imagine if I plug in -3 into this parenthesis right here, it's going to be -3 plus 3 is 0. 0 times anything, the whole thing is going to be 0. 0 is less equal to 0. So -3 is inclusive. Dia, you had questions?
How come it's a parentheses before the negative infinity?
Because you're not Buzz Lightyear.
You cannot continue.
Unless you're Buzz Lightyear. Do you get it? I don't. Maybe you're too young to watch Buzz Lightyear. It's Buzz Lightyear is to infinity and beyond. Dia didn't laugh, so I mean it's not funny. She didn't get it. She's too young for Buzz Lightyear. You never seen Buzz Lightyear, right? You have?
Yeah.
You never see that quote? To infinity and beyond? She doesn't think it's funny. I think it's funny. I don't care what you think. Anyway, Sarah?
Can you go over how to do the number line test again?
I just did. You gotta ask me questions. No, which part you have problem?
I have a problem. Like I don't understand the part between -3 and 0.
-3 and 0. So if I plug in -1, so this is the number I'm plugging. -1, I'm gonna plug into 2x. That's gonna give you -2, so it's negative sign. If I plug in -1 to x plus 3, it's -1 plus 3, so it's positive sign. If I plug in -1 to at -1 minus 3, that is going to be -4. That's negative sign. Negative times negative is positive. Positive times positive is positive. So the final answer is positive. Are you sure? There's no dumb question right now. There's a dumb question tomorrow. If you got it wrong, then you got it wrong. That's dumb. This is today. You can ask any dumb question. I'll be okay. Yes, Brendan? Can I show you 14? I haven't get there yet, but I'll get there. Now, yes.
Can you like explain how to know if you use a parentheses or bracket?
Okay, good. Can somebody explain that? Safa, can you go up there and explain it?
Huh?
He's asking, can you re-explain when to use parentheses and bracket? Because sometimes my boys, like I would say exact same thing as Safa, and people don't get it. And if Safa say like 2 sentences and you will get it. True. So that's why Safa need to explain this one. Safa, can you explain when to use bracket, when to use parentheses? Go up the board. Go. Safa is a better teacher than me. Marilyn said. Oh, okay.
Okay, well, you here you would be using a bracket because in the equation it's less than or equal to, and not just less than. So whenever it's less than or equal to, or like greater than or equal to, that means that that number can like be the same. Like it could be equal to that number, so you need a bracket. But like in the previous question, it was I think was it just less than or was it just greater than?
Greater than.
I just flipped back to the last question. Go look at the last question.
The last question, it was just greater than and not equal to. So that means you would just do the parentheses because, like, if you put in that number, it couldn't be the same. Like, that wouldn't make sense.
Aiden, does that make sense?
If it's like not greater than or equal to, then it would have a bracket no matter what. Or...
Yeah, it would just be parentheses.
I think I get it.
Thank you, Safa. See, I say the exact same thing. People be like, oh. I swear. Yeah, maybe she's nicer. Maybe you're right. Am I mean?
Yes, but it's a good.
I'm not mean. I haven't been mean yet. Trust me. Ask Anthony. I cussed him off the first day I met him.
It's true. I can't even lie.
I haven't been mean yet. I cussed him out the first day. I almost kicked his ass.
Oh, we got into a pretty bad fight. Pretty bad.
Trust me, I will put him in headlock. Yeah, I haven't been mean to you yet. Trust me, you'll know it when I'm being mean.
Didn't you like throw a chair at some of the students?
Yeah, I throw it across the room. I pick up a chair, I throw it across the room. But that's what you have to do when you teach at a ratchet school. They do spitball. I don't know if you know what spitball is. They stick on my board. I got pissed. I just take it out and throw a desk across the room. Yeah, that's pretty bad. No, the kids are good. The kids are nice kids. But that group of kids is because they fail algebra 1 3 times. All of them fail algebra 1 3 times. Every single one passed the EOC after my class. Every single one of them. The kid cannot play football because he failed 3 times algebra 1, and he cannot play football. He was the best quarterback in the school that they can offer. And every time his mom come by my room, it's like his mom would come in my room, shake my hand, says, "Thank you so much to helping my kids." I'm always about helping. I don't mind. So don't be afraid to ask me questions. Yes, I might sound kind of mean sometimes. but I'm not mean. But I can be mean. Yeah, next question. So I want to go over the other ones. I think it's x minus 4 over x plus 2, right?
X minus 3.
On the bottoms, minus 3.
X minus 3.
X minus 3 on the top. Okay, so this one is going to be the same thing because this one's still division. Division is same like multiplication. So you still lead like this. You still lead like this, and you're still using a -2 and 3. You're still using those things because negative sign, negative times negative, negative divided by negative is still positive. So the way to think about it is still the same. But come after school, watch the YouTube video. Katie, make sure you comment, get help. Have somebody coming with you. Maybe Emily can come in. You can be her group leader again. You have practice today?
Getting back to today. I need to study.
Okay. Yeah, but you gotta do it. You're gonna fail tomorrow. Then you gotta come in after school to get better. You cannot just stay in your room and then not doing the work. If you come here, I can supervise you do the work. I know it's kind of loud sometimes, but you can actually. I'm supervising you do the work. Yes.
Union thing that you put in the
Union means this interval or this interval.
Okay, should we put that tomorrow?
You should, but I don't penalize you for that. But you should always, because you have one interval and not interval,
Yeah.
the way to do the correct notation, you have to have a union right in the middle.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Is there gonna be quadratic